let's talk a little football. Hey everyone, welcome to the Press Box. I'm so glad you're with us. I am Austin Reams. I'm here with Randy Young, Michael Best, Jim Rayburn, and let's talk a little playoff football for our high school teams around the area. We've got some teams advancing and some teams that aren't, but let's talk Thomas County Central. Big winners over Jonesboro, 56-6. I mean, you guys gave up 6 points. What's wrong with you? But talk about that win, and then really want to kind of get into that Rome game. Is going to be an all-timer. But give us the scoop on the Jonesboro game.
Solid performance. I mean, anytime you win in the second round, 56-6, that's a pretty good night. We ended up with about 500 total yards. Jonesboro had about 150, 87 of which came on the first play that we put our reserve defensive guys on the field. They hit a little slant and took the wrong angle, and 87 yards later he was gone. They had a lot of athletes. Their line of scrimmage was really big. They had very good receivers, but we were able to kind of get the quarterback out of his rhythm and created some issues there. Cam Brooks had an interception for a touchdown ago. It's unusual for a defensive lineman, but they tried a little screen pass and tried to throw it over Cam, and that didn't work. He just snagged it and took about 15 yards. And
they normally call those fat guy touchdowns, but he's a lean and mean tackling
Cam's
machine.
not a fat guy. And then he got about a 20-yard touchdown playing tight end. He had a little slant to him. We ran the ball for over 400 yards. I don't know what Jonesboro was doing for our coaches to say, okay, we're going to line up and run it, but somewhere Ed Pilcher was smiling down on that.
Yeah.
And solid win. Trey Brenton goes over 100 yards. Ahmad Ponder has his first 100-yard game as a sophomore. And then freshman Kobe Carnage comes in off the bench, and he ends up with 75 yards himself. So solid night. The best news of all, no big injuries or anything. We were concerned about Trayvon Pringle, our sophomore wide receiver. He's the leading wide receiver on the team. He banged his knee up in practice on Monday, but was able to play and got some receptions and played well. So now we go to Rome.
All roads lead there.
Woo! It's a long haul, no way around it. You go to Saudi Arabia, take a right, and then you're in Egypt, and there you are. Or I guess that's in Greece, right? Or Italy, Rome, Italy.
You didn't study geography.
You didn't study geography.
You were there that day, were you?
Yeah, I'm lost.
You go to Germany and take a right.
To go to Italy, yeah. I think
I said Thomas with education.
Been around.
all these city
That's
guys.
Bulldogs.
You see them 7 hills, and you're good.
That's it. That's it.
They're on the tip of the boot.
That makes perfect sense. Rome's very good. They have a Division I safety, Division I linebacker. Their quarterback's thrown for about 8,000 yards in his career. He's really, really good. He was the Region Player of the Year for them 2 years running, last year and this year. Talented receiver that's committed to South Florida. Big line of scrimmage. I mean, in some ways, they look a lot like Central. So we'll see. I know our guys have got a long haul to get up there, but our guys have played well on the road so far this year. Again, the Houston County game, we go up there. And if you want a comparison, I think this Rome team is they're built a lot like Houston County. Really good quarterback, really good receivers, dangerous running back, and good defense. So we're going to have to play our best game. I mean, nobody's left that's going to be an easy game. I mean, all of the brackets in 6A have got championship caliber games going on, and hopefully our guys can go up there and take care of business. Leaving out Thursday night, and then convoy leaving from the high school 11 o'clock Friday morning, and should be a lot of fun, but we got to take care of our business, do or die.
Yep, that's the way you want it to be. So premier matchup to two premier programs. So another premier program, Colquitt County, they beat Westlake 38-19, and they're traveling to Milton. Colquitt County keeps rolling, and just.
Where is Milton?
That is a good question.
I have no idea. Our research guy will get
Geography
on that.
guy.
I'm on it.
He'll have it
I'm
here.
pulling
Don't
it up.
ask
Somewhere
him.
near Saudi Arabia.
Google will tell him because he didn't learn it in school.
Yeah, he'll just Google it.
You can ask him about Georgia geography. He's good at that.
Yeah,
so,
I'm pretty good there.
Let's as we do that, and good luck to the Packers to go and
And I
get another state
met
title.
I met a fan that watches
All right,
our show.
just one fan.
One fan that
All
watches
right.
our
Well,
show.
it's one more
Was that our only fan?
I don't know.
It's
It's
our
one
biggest
more than
fan.
I
I
thought.
know that
One more than I thought.
his name is Mr. Tyus, and he's from Moultrie, but he owns land, some farmland in Grady County. He makes syrup over there, so got a great guy. I mean, he's a
Obviously,
Colquitt packer and a syrup maker.
He's a syrup maker.
I
yeah.
mean, there ain't no.
a lot going on there.
Ran into him, and he recognized me and said we do a great job on the show, and he watches it every week. So hey,
Yeah.
to Mr. Dice and to all our Colquitt County fans, there's a lot of people watch it.
Yeah,
Colquitt
good
County,
deal.
so,
We have a lot.
go Pack.
That's right. It'll get you another state
They
title
are
here.
located in Milton, Georgia.
Well, there you go.
So that simplifies it.
Simple as it can be.
It is 30 miles due north of Atlanta in Fulton County.
Oh, okay.
All
There
right.
you go.
So there you go. Again, good
And
luck
we
to the
think
Packers.
they're going there. Last we heard,
That's-
we're
yeah,
not
as far as we
100%
know.
sure.
They
They don't-
should be. They're in the same bracket as Thomas County
Yeah.
Central.
And the top brackets are hosting.
We
so
trust y'all know.
Yeah.
Yes,
We're not completely
not
sure.
me,
I
but
bet the
everyone
folks
else.
in Colquitt County know.
Yeah.
I guarantee
Yeah.
it.
And they travel well too, so that'll be.
Yeah, Milton
good
is
to see
10
that.
and 2 on the year. So again, they've had a couple of stumbles along the way. As long as Colquitt County is healthy, which it sounds like quarterback's been fighting some hamstring issues, but again, Colquitt, they should be fine. But at this point, there are no slouches left, so you got to go in there and take care of your business.
Yeah, that Buc-ee's on I-75 is going to be full of jackets and Packers.
Well, no. The Central folks are going through
Oh,
Columbus.
they're going through
Yeah,
Columbus.
Yeah,
All
trying
right,
to avoid that Black Friday traffic because that's going to be a
Around the outlets.
yes.
That's right.
That's it.
That's right.
That's right.
All right. Of course, Pelham, their season ends. We'll talk about Thomasville in a second, but Pelham's season ends.
We don't have to.
Well, I want to talk about the season. I know that was a tough loss by the Dogs, but Pelham got beat by Bryan County 34-8, and then Brookwood goes down to Pinewood 68-61. And
Pelham was right there with us because we went through Bryan County going up to
yeah,
Savannah.
up to Savannah. Tough loss for let's talk about the Dogs. Tough loss to Calvary, 49-0.
Calvary Day,
Calvary Day.
not Calvary in Grady County.
Calvary
It was
Day.
Mule Day.
That's right.
No wonder I couldn't find y'all.
So
We hid down there in the old tobacco warehouse.
That's it.
that's right.
on
To me, I just want to talk about the season in general. I think you got a lot of great, sophomores, a lot of great guys coming back, and to me, a successful year. You get to the second round of the playoffs, do pretty well in the region. How do you characterize the year and just kind of what you got coming back? As you look
Let's
forward
talk
to
about Calvary Day.
You want to talk about Calvary?
Let's
Okay,
talk about
all right.
Calvary Day first off. We could play them 100 times, and the score would be the
It's about
same
the same.
because everybody on that team is going to college somewhere. D1, medium-sized college. They had them all. They had them all. When they come out with their pads on, my first
You
statement.
knew.
We were off the air. My first statement was, Daryl, running clock.
Yeah.
I said
yeah.
because you could look at him. The quarterback was 6'4", 6'5", and he had a rifle for an arm. They had a big tight end, the best human specimen I've ever seen on foot, and all across the field it was just like that. Their wide receivers could fly, and their best one didn't even play. But we had a chance. They hadn't been scored on since September 22nd, first play of the game. Cam throws it out, a backward pass out to Messiah Wilson. Messiah throws it. Nigel
You had a drop there.
is wide open, 25 yards. He's at midfield. There's nobody in the picture with him.
Yeah.
Right through
Yeah.
his hands.
Hit him in the wrong spot.
Right through
Yeah,
his
I hate
hands.
that.
So we had a chance to score on the first play, and then we had a chance on the last play. They put Levante Cole at wide receiver. He ran right down the center of the field, and Cam hit him. He caught it in the air going into the end zone, and they hit him, and the referee spotted the ball at the one. So
Of course.
we didn't score, but we had two. That was our only two opportunities to score. I mean, our kids played hard. The defense played hard. We got pressure on the quarterback, but I mean, it was just apples
Yeah, apples and oranges.
and figs.
Yeah.
There you go.
'Cause
Watermelons
there's
and
not-
grapes.
That's last week we traveled to a city,
You played a team.
Harlem. We played a community team, two community teams.
Yeah.
Got after it, played hard. Game was over. Everybody was happy, win or lose, and that's Georgia high school football. What we went into last Friday night, that was not.
Yeah.
That was not Georgia high school football because that team was recruited, every one of them, because they don't have a district. They have a place where that school is, that church is. But I mean,
Yeah.
there's no way that Thomasville High School could compete with that football team. Now in 21, some of those guys with Joe Williams and some of those guys would have given them a run for their money. But I mean, with a sophomore-laden football team, and
Yeah,
It was
just
just more than you could ask of your kids to have to go, and that's what that wouldn't happen next year, because even if we was in AAA, Calvary Day would be pulled out and have to go play private schools.
Yeah.
But
Which I think to me is the right move moving forward. If you're gonna limit recruiting, then you've got to do something different with private schools.
well, that's
basically.
what city schools catch a lot of the brunt. They're in a county, and you can't go outside the county and bring somebody into play. But this private school can go
They
outside
can.
their
Get anybody.
neighborhood anywhere
Or
and bring in these
neighboring
kids.
county.
That's why you got 2 programs in Savannah: Benedictine and Calvary Day, both of them private schools.
Yeah.
And
But
anyway,
they won't play each other.
But they won't. Calvary Day says Benedictine won't play them. I'd like to hear the Benedictine.
Yeah, I'd like to hear the other side
Might
of the
be the
story
other way
myself.
around.
But anyway, yeah, it was a great season for the Dogs. You know, we knew going in, we're very young, we lost a big senior class year before. Had some seniors this year. It was one of the smaller senior classes, and they had been on the coattails of the last 2 or 3 senior classes and won a lot of ball games, got in a lot of playoff games. But just the core of Thomasville's football team is sophomores.
Yeah.
And they were not ready to step up and say, take the leadership role. Well, they'll be juniors next year. We got all our skilled people coming back except for Cole Shaw. Cole couldn't go Friday night because of his ankle injury, but we lose him, and we lose some of the offensive line, but we got some young linemen that's played a lot, and the future's bright for Thomasville. We go down to high single A, and so we'll be in there. We'll be in there with old AA schools. We'll be in there with Worth and Fitzgerald, Berrien. Of course, we got to go to Nahunta to play Brantley County, and then to Bacon County.
Jeff Davis is in there.
And Jeff
right?
Davis is in there. We got some long trips, but we'll be playing in our class. We've got put up in the AAA, a AA school, by our out-of-district kids, and we won the region last year and finished 3rd this year. So I think we did pretty well. But I mean, things should get more back to normal. We'll be playing schools our own size, and we've already got the schedule pretty much
set for next year.
Set for next year. No contract signed, but we only had to find 4 teams to play 4 games. So instead of 7 like we did this year.
Back to the Brookwood game real quick.
All right,
68-61. Come
Yeah,
on.
yeah.
What in the world?
I mean, did y'all miss some free throws or what?
That's
I mean,
right. We were, joking in the box about a basketball game breaking out. So,
Golly.
both offenses could really move the ball, and
Clearly.
obviously we struggled on defense and got behind. 3 turnovers really hurt us, so kind of got behind the 8 ball, and
Gosh.
not proud of the Warriors. No give up. Proud of our seniors. So I want to do some stats. So quarterback Raj Waldrop. His stats, he had over 10,000 yards passing in his career and over 110 touchdowns. So
That's pretty
proud
good.
of him.
Most
So
of those came in this game.
Over 110 or 110.
110.
111 is what it was.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
110. And
When
then,
are the state championships for private schools?
so they have semifinals will be this week and the finals next week.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, so kind of speaking of Calvary, the teams that recruit like them in private school are also doing really well. They'll probably meet, so it'll be should be John Millage versus Valwood will be that as well. So
I bet you Brookwood probably broke some scoring records this year, though.
oh
if
yeah,
you add it up now.
yeah, they've broken some scoring records and
impressive.
state high school records. T.J. Thomas, another senior going to Elon, he had accounted for over 6,000 yards and 75 TDs. So
Pretty good.
Good. Those guys again, seniors, and they did it the right way. Play hard and work hard in the classroom, and proud of those guys and all those guys who did well. So. Let's go back to Georgia high school playoffs and just talk brackets a little bit. I know that I know we got some interesting matchups coming up, and just kind of I wanted to talk about that. I mean, I haven't looked at much at 7A, but
Who's left in 4A?
who's left in your?
Benedict.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
They're
it's
gonna
theirs to
win it.
lose basically.
Yeah.
Was that not the biggest shocker of the state, the Bainbridge game, 7-3?
Yes, it was. Couldn't
I
believe
don't
cannot
know what
believe
happened.
how you shut those 3 guys down.
I don't know how in the world, because from what I said, I guess you got to really be their rival and get really jacked up to score big, because they were on fire against us. But the next week, same thing that we kind of run into from talking to some Bainbridge people. They had some drop passes. They had some
The wide receiver
touchdowns
dropped
called
3
back.
touchdowns.
Yeah, and it takes a lot. Randy and I talked about it takes a lot to get to the state championship. It takes having a good team, it takes a little luck, takes staying away from injuries, and you got to play your best every week. And
Momentum.
if you're not the best that week, you can go down. And
Well, we got that 7-3 score. It was a halftime score.
yeah, we
and
thought.
I thought, well, it's about to
you know,
explode
in a
now.
few minutes it'll be 28-7.
Well, then
you know.
Perry, they talked about Perry's defense, but Perry's has not been known as a defense team. They've been known as a team to score 50 points.
Yeah. I couldn't believe it. That was the shocking score of the night. 7-3 is what the final
Playoff
was there.
football for you right
So
there.
Benedictine's the favorite.
Oh yeah, I
Yeah.
think so.
Shocker.
I don't even know who else is in it besides Benedictine now.
Yeah.
You know.
What about 3A?
It'll come down to Carver, Atlanta, and Calvary Day.
Okay.
And I don't know if Carver, Atlanta is disciplined enough to. I know they got the athletes, but I don't know if they're disciplined enough
Right.
to beat
Cedar-
Calvary. Because
Cedar
Calvary
Grove,
doesn't make any they don't make any mistakes. Cook is still alive.
Cook's still alive after all the mess they went through, and I'm glad they did. It's 6A
Cicero's
now.
still alive.
Every one of these games are very, very good matchups. Lee County has Douglas County, and Douglas County's undefeated. Lee County's the only number 2 seed left. Everybody else is number 1s. So then you've got Gainesville and Woodward Academy down in the lower left-hand side, Marist and Roswell up top on our side, and then us and Rome. So every one of those games are going to be knockdown dragouts. And, you know, again, any one of those teams can win the state championship. I think it's wide open.
Yeah, that's good.
Yep.
I don't know much about 5A, but anyway, we just want to talk about the brackets that we knew. And
Coffee
y'all have any-
County's still
County's
alive in 5A.
And Warner Robins, they
And
defeated
Warner
Ware
Robins,
County.
They beat Ware.
Oh wow, over
Yeah,
where?
23 matchup of the 2 state champions teams that played last year, and Ware won it last year, but this time Warner Robins took care. But Coffee's got to be the favorite, no question.
Yeah.
They're running over people.
They got a good running back.
Yep.
All right. Well, we're going to take a break, and we'll be right back. Talk a little college football. All right. Welcome back to the press box. So glad you're with us. And we did a quick geography study while we were on the break, so we're ready to go. We're ready to talk football, and if any geography questions comes up, we got it. So let's talk Georgia Tech. Good old-fashioned hate week. You know, I think Georgia's going to dominate this game. Georgia Tech's a little better than they have been, but Georgia seems to be rolling here. So how much Bama next week in the SEC championship game, how much should the Bama game play? Is it going to play a role in this game, or are they going to be looking ahead? What about maybe some game planning where we're not really telling them it's Bama, but it really is Bama? I mean, coaches can do that kind of stuff. Like, you know, players can stay focused.
You
but
think
fans
Kirby's that smart?
don't. Oh, yeah.
He
Yeah.
is from
Kirby is
He
evil
is from
genius.
Bainbridge, you know.
That's
true.
That was he.
Got a
said
point.
that. I didn't say that.
I did not.
But
Not me.
I do think that they do a lot of that. I mean, you can look and see how well they did against Tennessee last year. You can tell like they had Tennessee's playbook down very well. So I don't
Did
know.
that guy get their Tennessee signals for him?
I don't think so.
Might have hired
I
that
don't
guy
think
from
so.
Michigan.
I
I
think
think
the
he
guy
probably
from
did.
Michigan.
Yeah,
Got
I
him
don't
on
think
the
they needed
payroll.
them.
Old Kirby.
So Randy, as the Georgia expert, and I know we'll get you're close
Now
to
that's the
Kirby,
real
so
expert.
I know you're close.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Second opinion.
He's got that line to Kirby.
Well, you're the friend of
They're
Kirby,
just like
so you
that.
get that.
Just like that.
He's
But,
the doubting Thomas.
Yeah.
Or doubting Michael.
So what are the what do you think about this Bama game? Is it going to play a role in this Tech game?
No, Kirby's not going to let that happen. Although I'm sure the coaches are probably doing some prep behind the scenes. But as far as this game, it's too important for Kirby. I mean, Kirby was a player. He was involved in this thing. And we weren't exactly burning the woods up whenever Kirby was playing now. So, I think this will be one of those things where he'll have them focused and ready to go. But that doesn't mean that behind the scenes there isn't some
like
stuff going
supports. You know, your support staff plays a big role in that when you've got these kind of behind the scenes coaches that are really kind of game planning against Bama or something like that.
Yep.
So what do you think? Is it going to loom? Maybe the players looking ahead a little bit or not?
No, I mean, you know, we're playing there, and Georgia Tech gets up for Georgia. I mean, I think it'll be a real battle for the first
10 minutes.
I was going to say
First
5 minutes.
quarter?
That's
first
on the
half.
clock. That's on the clock, not game
say
time.
first half.
Nah.
But you know, I'm sure. I mean, they have this thing down. I mean, they've been breaking down Alabama film probably since August.
Yep.
you
Sure.
know. But as far as they're not looking ahead. As far as the kids, no,
Yeah,
the players know. I mean,
And-
the players are too. I'm sure.
What's crazy about this game is your old guard Georgia folks, this is the game.
Yeah,
Now, this is the rivalry game. Now,
Yeah.
for us, Florida, Tennessee sneaks in there for the folks up in North Georgia, but For the
But
old
those little
Georgia.
old ladies wearing those red and black bulldog shoes
Yes,
and,
sir.
and earrings that show up in them bouffant hairdos, this is the game right
This
here.
is it. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Big deal. Big deal. Of
All
course,
right.
it hasn't been much of a game of late,
Yeah.
and hopefully that'll continue. But
There'll be a rivalry. They got to do something sooner or later.
you're right.
Yeah.
You're
Or
right.
The rivalry's dead.
You're right.
That's
You're
true.
right. Not much
That's
of a
true.
rivalry. You're right.
I would like to see Georgia Tech kind of look themselves in the mirror and say, hey, how can we get where Georgia's doing? And that's spending money, putting money in facilities and back in your program. So I hope that if it's not a close game, I hope Georgia beats them bad enough where they'll look in the mirror and do it. But what do you think?
Well, you go to Tech for an education, and it's hard to get all the Jimmys and Joes to want to go. Had to go through what they got to go through at Tech. There's
Yeah.
no basket weaving.
Yeah, I don't know, but they've had athletes in the past, so I mean, I think they can do it. But
Charlie Thomas went there, but
Yeah.
Charlie Thomas was a scholar
Yeah.
athlete. He was
Yeah.
he is smart. He's not,
Yeah.
and he excelled in the school and on the field. But those were rare people. They're rare.
Yeah.
Ben Wilhelm plays
Yeah,
for Tech. It's Bill Wilhelm's son, and it's the same thing. I mean, he's a brainiac.
Yeah,
and,
really smart guy. So,
yep.
yeah. So anyway, I just like to see more to that rivalry. It's always fun when both of those
Stetson
teams
Bennett.
were.
Well,
Both of those teams
he
were
wa-
kind of.
Just leave it at
about
that.
the
Just
same.
say Stetson Bennett. Just stop talking. Just don't say anything else. Stetson
Leave it
Bennett.
there.
All right, so we'll move on.
Don't know. Open-ended.
That's right. Good news for Georgia, I think, as they should win this game. I just would love to see a good game. I don't think
Yeah,
they will.
I agree.
I would too, but
Yeah.
I don't see it.
I don't see it as well. Just not near the
Too
talent
many
level.
athletes on Georgia's team.
Yeah.
Speaking of athlete, one athlete that's beloved by Florida State got hurt. So Jordan Travis got hurt against Northern Alabama, and just man, I've been bummed about it all week. I'll be honest with you guys.
I started to dig out my only FSU shirt and wear it today in honor
Goodness,
of
that's
Jordan
right.
Travis.
Yeah.
So I hate that just because all he's been through. Like he's seen the worst. I mean, Florida State. I don't know unless you were watching the games like I were. I mean, we were really bad. And Jordan was there hearing the boos.
Yeah.
He left
fighting through all
Louisville.
that.
He left Louisville
Yeah.
to come to
Left a
FSU.
horrible situation in Louisville, and
He stayed the course. That's my thing. It's
Yeah.
kind of like Carson Beck with Georgia. I have total respect for somebody that has the opportunity to bail when things are tough. Didn't do it.
Yeah,
Total
and,
respect.
I really wanted that kind of rocky thing to come true to make the playoffs, and Florida State has a shot at that. But maybe the question is just focused on Jordan Travis. Is he the most impactful football player that Florida State's ever had? Again, not the best, but he is very good now. He's probably top 5 quarterback. But is he the most impactful player in FSU history, knowing how really bad we were? I mean, losing to Jacksonville State, getting killed by Clemson, really embarrassed in a lot of ways, embarrassed by Miami if you think about that season they had. I think that would have been 2020. So,
Yeah.
As an athlete, I would say Charlie Ward, but as a
Sure.
person of what this person
Just kinda situational?
meant to the program, the situation he came in,
Yeah.
FSU was in dire straits, got rid of Willie Taggart, and then you're bringing in somebody from Memphis to take over. Nobody knew anything about Norville.
then you had COVID.
The COVID year struck.
Yeah.
And, I mean, he's just been
Yeah.
He's
steady. And
kinda been the
on,
anchor.
on the field
Yes.
and off the
Yeah,
field.
he's kind of been the anchor of
Right.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that.
And I
can
think
see
you know
that.
if you're a longtime FSU fan, I think Charlie Ward is there for most impactful. I think Ron Simmons is
Ron
probably
Simmons.
most
Deion
most
Sanders
impactful.
could get in that argument.
Deion would
too
be
now.
in that argument as well. Again,
Burt Reynolds.
Yeah, well,
How about
Burt Reynolds
how about,
actually
Lee
supporting the
Corso?
team
How about Lee
afterwards.
Corso?
Lee Corso.
he's still impacting people.
Yeah. So that's probably the list right there.
Yeah.
And you joke about
That's a
Burt
short
Reynolds,
list
but
there.
he donated a lot. When,
No,
when
he had
Florida
a
State
huge
ascended in
impact.
the 80s,
Yeah.
that was him.
Huge
Yeah.
impact.
Big
There were a lot of
impact
people
there.
that started paying attention to Florida State because of Burt Reynolds.
Yes, that's right.
No question.
That's right. And Ron Simmons was in that too. So
Yep.
The
I would
Garnet
say-
Gold guys.
Yeah, them
Well,
too.
that's true
them
too.
Yeah.
Osceola. Maybe.
Yeah.
I would say he probably is, but there's a lot. It's a fascinating part of FSU history of how that goes.
But
So,
given the I think you make a point. Given the difficulty that he has navigated and now been able to enjoy the success and the fruits of that, yeah, I can see that, and that's a fair statement. And he's such a good kid.
And he's kind of done it like he's kept his nose to the grindstone. He hasn't been a big bright light player.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, he's just kind of been consistent.
Yep.
And what he's going through now, the way he's
Yep,
Going about it.
going about it.
yep, top notch, pure
No
class.
complaining, no,
Yep.
no, woe is me.
Well, he said his career is finished, but the mission isn't over.
Right.
Yeah.
So there you go. That's his mindset.
All right. Well, let's go to instead of yes, no, we're going to let's go to attitude or gratitude. It is Thanksgiving. I'm skipping a question, so because we're running out of time here.
Okay.
So attitude or gratitude. So does this situation or player or coach fill you with a bad attitude or gratitude? Don't forget to have gratitude, as it is Thanksgiving week.
A lot to be
let's-
thankful for.
Yeah, a lot to be thankful
Get
for
that
too.
all the mix right there.
I know.
Yeah, that's right.
Point
I
that
can't looking for it there.
All right.
Should be on
Autumn's about
clearance.
over with.
That's true,
Michael
too.
Best, the 12-team playoff next year. Does that give you a bad attitude or gratitude?
I'm going to say gratitude.
Gratitude? Okay. All right. You guys are grateful for this?
Guys, I've got mixed emotions. I mean, it'll be fun to watch it happen, but I like what we've got. I mean, I'm going to say gratitude, but there's some attitude mixed in with it.
I'm gonna say attitude. You're just watering down the playoffs. The
Watering
first-
down the regular season.
Watering down the regular season and watering down the first games. I'd say if anything, go 6 or 8, but 12 is
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's stretching a little too thin.
As an example, Florida State's 10-0. They could probably lose 2 games, maybe still be ranked, to get into it. So anyway, all right, this is an easy one here, Randy Young. College replay review procedures.
Oh my gosh, attitude. Just do away with it.
Yeah, if you're going to do it this bad, don't have it.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to go back and watch it and still not get it right, attitude.
Yep.
Attitude, they get worse. You used to say, well, at least they got it right, but lately,
I don't shoot.
even in the professionals, they're getting it wrong.
Yep.
All right.
Which is baffling.
Yeah, I don't know how they get it wrong. But to me, it's the time it takes. Just, just make
Ruins
the best call.
the entire momentum of the game.
Yeah, and if
Yep.
you're a fan, I mean,
Oh
if
my
you're on
gosh.
TV, it's different. But if you're watching on TV, but if you're there in the stands and you got to sit there forever,
Yep.
it's very awful fan
Yep.
experience. All right, how about Michael? How about Bo Nix? Attitude or gratitude here
You
with
know-
the surging Oregon Ducks?
I just know that he hadn't caught all the grief that Stetson Bennett caught for playing college football for 15 years.
You got a point.
But yeah, gratitude. I mean, he suffered through those years at Auburn, and now things are going well.
You don't see too many quarterbacks turning around like he has, Randy.
Definitely gratitude. I mean, but man, what a tough pill to swallow if you're an Auburn fan watching this guy be the front runner now probably for the Heisman Trophy, and you just paid New Mexico State $1.8 million to come in there and beat you by 3 touchdowns. That's tough. But gratitude.
Gratitude for
Yep,
that, and
yep.
yeah, you can send Randy a nasty email for that.
No, I
Auburn
mean,
fans.
that's
No, I'm
tough.
just
If
kidding.
I'm an
Yeah, I know what
Auburn
you
fan,
mean.
that's tough. Now,
I
no
know.
way around it.
But success isn't linear. I think Auburn's on the way back.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, Bo Nix.
I think gratitude. He's
Yeah, I
a great
agree.
player, and he found some place where he could really show his talents.
Yep.
And a lot of times that doesn't happen.
Right.
So to me, when it does, it's super cool. To
And for
watch.
him,
So-
with all the connections to Auburn through his
Yeah.
family, that had to be hard to do.
Yeah.
I admire the fact that he stepped up on his own behalf.
his resilience
Yep.
there. All right, speaking of not resilient, how about the Pac-12? The demise of the Pac-12, does that give you attitude or gratitude?
Attitude, because
Yeah.
Pac-10's always been, like the Big Ten, it's always been there. UCLA, USC, and all those guys. And
That conference has been around for a long time.
it's been
by the
around
way,
all my
too.
life.
Yeah, a
And
long time.
Yeah, it is a long time.
This doesn't.
Because Big Ten and before the playoffs, Big Ten champion
Yeah.
and the Pac-10 champion met in the Rose Bowl.
Every year.
That was it.
Yep.
Yeah, and that's probably.
And that was the granddaddy of all bowl
Yep,
games.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's kind of catchy.
Yeah, they should name it that.
The granddaddy of them all.
That's right. You got to say
Who
it
was
like
that?
Keith
Keith
Jackson.
Jackson.
You got to say it like Keith Jackson.
Granddaddy of them all.
Randy, what do you say?
Alabama
Demise?
Crimson Tide. Definitely attitude.
Attitude on that one. Attitude on that one. All right, last one. Here you go, Michael Best. Green bean casserole. Let's give you attitude or gratitude.
I love.
I mean-
I'm saying gratitude. I like.
You like green bean casserole?
Yes.
It's a Thanksgiving staple. It's a little
Yes.
controversial.
Is this
so-
the Thanksgiving version of the candied corn
Yeah,
question?
I'll
Is
have
that
it
what we're
next
doing
week.
here? Okay.
So, what do you say, Randy Young?
I'm all about
You're
gratitude. I
all,
like
you're all
it.
about the green bean casserole.
Attitude, I hate it. I don't even like to smell it, look at it, or see it on the table.
All right, so I agree. I agree with this genius over here. I'm not a. It gives me attitude.
I love it.
So
I do too.
anyway,
That's like
Put some
somebody
candy
putting
corn in it.
collard greens on it.
All
Just
right.
sprinkle a little candy corn on top of it.
Well, I hope you guys have a great Thanksgiving. We have a lot to be thankful for. Get out there and show thanks, and we'll
Absolutely.
see you next week on the Press Box.
Go Jackets.
Amen.